All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Becoming Show. Welcome to episode number 22. And today we have a guest who is actually one of my juniors from St. Thomas's Prep, Minuka Guru Singh. He is one of, in my opinion, a musician, a singer, a person that is going to go forward in the music industry. But before I say all of that, Minuka, welcome to the Becoming Show.
Thanks, man. I'm very grateful to be here, to be on your show. Yeah, I've never done this sort of thing before. Talking is kind of like new to me. Music it comes with naturally, but like speaking about things is not something I'm used to. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. No, there's no pressure here. It's just the two of us. Once it goes out to social media, we'll think about that when it happens. But this is just a casual conversation between two guys. Okay, and I'm very happy to do this because I this is probably going to be the last time we are going to see Minuka this free in his life because he's going to go and be a big star. And I'm going to be happy because I'm the first one to interview him, get something out of this. Anyways, okay. So let's start from the start, Minuka. Now you in I think you were in the orchestra in even school as in St.
Yeah,
Thomas's.
yeah, I was.
You okay? So let's start there. What made you get into music from the beginning? Like what made not now the singing career started later. No, singing
Yeah,
started later. You were in music. You were played the guitar. I remember all of these stuff from the small days. So what made you get into all of this initially?
so that's quite an interesting question because when I was really small, I was really not into music at all. So like in grade six, I don't know, I think if you did locals, you'd have to select a Easter egg subject. I don't know if you remember. We all had
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I selected art. I did art from grade six to nine year because music was not like anywhere in my mind as to something I want to do. And it, I think the turning point for me was just randomly one day I went to my grandparents' house. My see, yeah, so my dad's dad, he's like the only person who has any sort of connection to music in our family, like because he's a really good guitarist. He used to play in bands and all, but he plays guitar every time we go. But for some reason, one particular day I went, I was really intrigued by it, and I asked him if he could teach me. And then yeah, and then that's how it started. He started teaching me guitar, and see,
And the rest was history.
it was a slow journey, but yeah, he bought me my first guitar actually. Also, he was really supportive. He would be the person who like sparked that side in me, I would say. And after that, I started guitar classes with a teacher. My teacher was Sanatha. He was the best teacher. Sadly, he passed away last month actually, but he was such a good person and he was so supportive even till like now. He always comments on my videos and stuff. And yeah, that's like my start. I started just as a guitarist. Yeah, and then I joined the school orchestra also as a guitarist. That was like the start. Do you want me to keep going about how I like,
I yes, I think we'll eventually cover those stuff. Okay, so here's a good question I'm going to ask you. If we were still in school, let's go back to 2020 now. Let's say COVID never happened, the bomb blast never happened, and we were casually in school. All of that was happening. If I would ask you in school right now about where would you be in 2026, what would you have said about yourself?
would I be in 2026? There.
Like would you have imagined that you would have made your own original, that you would be doing all of this stuff? What would you have told? Like, what would you have been telling? Like, now 2026, we were like flying cars, this thing, that thing, all this blah blah. What would you have told about yourself?
You're asking what I would have. Uh,
Where would you have imagined you to be by 2026?
so I don't think I would have ever imagined that. Firstly, I wouldn't have imagined that I'd sing ever. I was so scared of it. That's something I picked up later on. And back then, I never saw music as something I could take seriously. It was always just something I did in my free time because I liked it. And like, I would have never imagined the things, like how far I've come as a musician, releasing and writing original songs, writing in Sinhala. That was an even bigger challenge. I I was not fluent in Sinhala, so if if someone told me that back in the day, I genuinely wouldn't have believed you, because yeah, I've gone through a lot of changes along the way. So yeah, like, when I was small, I wanted to make cars. I was really into cars. I wanted to work in the car industry, probably something along those lines.
Definitely, definitely. Okay. So yes, well, I mean, at the end of the day, obviously there's going to be a lot of changes in path in a person's life, and sometimes some changes that happen in your life happen to the best. And I think your grandfather, by purchasing that guitar for you and teaching you how to play the guitar, well, it happened for the best. And yeah, we are seeing a lot of results, and we're obviously going to be fingers crossed that things will go as smoothly as it is, and it will go to where I think, guys, hear me out, okay? I think this is going to be a voice that you're going to be hearing a bit more often going forward, and it's going to stay up on the boards very soon. It's going to get up there. It's already getting up there, but I think it's going to happen in a large scale. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a good question. Now, I have seen you performing on stage at times. You've done covers with your friends, all of this. What is the difference between performing someone else's song versus performing your own song? What is that difference for you?
That's a good question. When I'm performing my own song, uh, I don't know how to really explain it, but it's something I wrote. Especially, I don't know if it applies to people, like if you're singing something your own song, but I don't know if it's not something you wrote. Maybe it's different. But for me, I usually write my own lyrics as well. When I'm singing it, like that story or whatever I was feeling when I wrote that song, it always replays in my mind. And I don't know, it feels a lot more natural. And I also feel good about myself knowing that this is something I made. Like, this is something that came out of me, and it feels a lot natural. And yeah, it doesn't feel like I'm singing a song. Like, it just comes out, if that makes sense. Like,
It's like a story that was lying deep within you, and I'm going to say it for you. I think a lot of people find music as a language to put something within themselves out there, and I think music is one of the best languages in this whole world, isn't it?
true, it's a really interesting form of expression. And yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, quite definitely. Okay, another good one. Okay, now you finish your new song Paata Sedila, I think that was quite fantastic. I've listened to it so many times right now already. I'm so happy it's on Spotify because that's where I'm listening to it on. Um, Once you finished Paata Sedila, and when you listen to
Yeah.
the full song for the first time, what did you feel?
Firstly, the first feeling I was actually happy. Like, it was my own song. It was one of my first songs. I was like, I never imagined that I could like make something that would be up to this standard. I'm not saying it's the best song out there, but I didn't think I could make a song like that. So I was happy. Uh, at the same time, I was quite scared because I didn't know how people were gonna receive it. Even though I like the song, everyone likes different things. Like, sometimes I might like a song, but maybe no one else likes it. So it was
That's true.
those
Yeah,
two feelings I was feeling: just excitement and also just nervous and fear.
yeah. That's I think I won't say fear exactly. It's more like, I mean, when you release the song, right, and then there's a bit of adrenaline. You're like, oh my
Yeah,
goodness, what's gonna be happening? And then you're like, yeah. you're waiting for that first review on what you have just made, and then you don't know what to expect. Like, you like it, you know who made it, like the people that were producing it with you, your friends, the ones who knew about it, they liked it, they loved it, cool. But ultimately, it's not for you or your friends, it's going out into the public, and you're wondering if it is what it is, if if they feel what I feel in this song, like that actually that is a thing. I don't think just limited to people in the music industry or anything. I think it's very common with a lot of people. Like certainly even with me, with the show. Like when I have a conversation with anyone, even this right now, I talk to you, and when I'm going to post this with anyone, quite certainly, I'm wondering if this is a clip, if this is something that another person would like to see. Because ultimately, that is the whole point of what we do, right? We want to spread a message. We want to put a smile on another person's face, so on and so forth. There's so many different things. And I think Paata Sedila, the song, has reached. I think it is there for me. For me, it's there, and I think it speaks volumes. The song is so good, and I think that song is definitely going to be one to remember because I think it's your first song, right?
It's actually my second song, but it's like my
All right,
first music video.
all right. So again, one of the first ones. Okay. Okay. I'm going to ask this thing. Who was the first person you played to? So Paata Sedila, who did you play it to first?
Was probably to my mom
Okay,
because
so
yeah,
why?
she usually hears my music first.
Yeah, everyone's biggest support is their mom at the end of the day. So yes, we can't complain about it. Okay, I think that speaks to itself volumes. Okay, right now we will try to how do you say this? We'll go to the Sri Lankan industry of music a bit. Okay, what does success look for you in music, specifically in Sri Lanka?
Quickly in Sri Lanka. Success in my opinion
Yes,
would be selling out your own solo show. At least, yeah, that would be that's my goal, like the end goal. And to be just do music full time is a challenge, especially in Sri Lanka. It's harder. It's really hard because uh, one thing, we're a small country. Like if you look at the Sri Lanka Spotify user base, it's 90,000 odd people.
yeah, that's very
So
true.
you can't survive off stream revenue at all because there's 90,000 people and all of these artists are targeting these 90,000 listener base, right? There's a few more in Apple Music, but the main most popular streaming platform is Spotify, I think. So it's a very small market. So the only like revenue, the main revenue platform per se for a singer artist is live shows, and that's a really tight market to again get into. So especially in Sri Lanka, surviving as a musician, as an artist, is quite hard. You have a lot of music producers. Music, you can survive off music. There are other forms of revenue channels. You can produce for other people and earn money, write for other people. But if you're just a singer, if that's the only thing you do, you're an artist, yeah, it's quite hard. So that is my goal. It's tough, but that is what success means to me.
Definitely, I think again, I think that part again that it in Sri Lanka, yes, that the whole thing you told about the music industry and the listening whole thing, that I think that's very very true. And sometimes good talent goes unrecognized, and I really hope that doesn't happen to you, bro. I think because whatever you have made this song so far, and there are so many things that the world hasn't seen yet. I like whatever you have been doing with school and all, like it hasn't gone out as much as now. You have promoted this song so much, right? You have done so many things, you've invested so much in it, hence why it has actually reached the audience it has reached right now. I'm saying if some of the other performances that you did before had the same uh, publicity that you have given for this one song. I think you that could have been something that people would have known about you like that. You would have been known for that before this as well, because I think you had it in you before then as well. And I think it's something that we are going to be seeing more often going in the future.
I think about that, Bevin. I think I was scared to take that leap actually. For the longest time, like, you have no idea. I was so like,
Contemplating.
yeah, I was contemplating about making my account public. That was the first thing I did. And I thought about that so many times because like, if I need to do this seriously, I need to put myself out there. And for the longest time, I was scared to take that leap and to just go for it. But then, yeah, just eventually I built up the courage and just thought, I like this. I'll just put out whatever I do because I genuinely enjoy it, and hopefully people feel the same way. So yeah,
Okay. That I think one of okay, okay, I'm going to ask you a quick question. How long ago did you make your account public?
question. I think it was either in 2023 or 2024. Even
2023.
2023, it was towards the end.
All right. So
Yeah. Four.
I think I think I did not know that. I thought quite initially, because I remember a lot of people start your account, like a private account. You build, even if it goes up to certain days, like 3K 4K people, you don't make it public. And then that one night you're just seated in bed and you're wondering if this happens, what is going to happen? Like, how bad could it be? You're not overthinking of the good things that can happen by doing it. Instead, you're actually contemplating every bad thing that could possibly happen. And then you're like, you know what? Screw this oil. I'm gonna make it happen. And I'm just going to find out to myself. And I did that too. And this was about 2 weeks ago. I made my private account a public account, because again, that I am not, I'm at a stage where I am not also making things just for my friends and the people who are just specifically following, and I need to put this show out there. That is, publicity is what a lot of things run on at the current meaning, not like we are doing for everything for everyone to see, meaning there's obviously going to be a bunch of people that really enjoy what we do, and giving something for them to see every day or regularly, or some, like, you know what I mean. That is something that producers, artists, and creators that we all do. And I think that is a step that I took that really, it's showing signs for me that it's going in the good direction. And I think that specific step for you is going to work better quite certainly than me, because music has more reach in the world. And I think you should be able to do a better job at this, because and quite certainly the songs are so good, bro. It should get there. So actually, another good question. I'm going to divert from the whole success and all of that. What is your plan? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm not talking about education. I'm not talking about education or this all this stuff. I'm talking about musically. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What would you have want to achieve? And Hari, now in 5 years' time, I can say I have done this, and that.
Yeah.
Now, what do you want to be like that? What is your story for 5 years?
In 5 years, I want to have pretty long song catalog out there, like 25 songs at least. Okay, and I
That's
want
about
to.
five a year. 5 a year. That is a good one. I should say. Add an album to it, maybe. Add an album to it, maybe.
There's the thing is, uh, I don't know if you noticed, but the album cycle thing doesn't really work well in the Sri Lankan industry, as far as I've seen,
It
especially
doesn't.
the
It
indie
doesn't.
part.
Yes, but how would a suggestion like something for, okay, because at the end of the day, I don't think we should The potential is there. Okay, hear me out. You have the potential. Social media is working in a very weird way. Current, like if you look 5 years ago versus right now, and then you look 5 years into the future, social media is three different stories right there.
True.
I would say if you could give a chance at the world now. Yes, the Sri Lankan audience is priority. It's target number one. Maybe I would say try something that targets the whole world as well. I think that is the thing that is going to be the difference between breaking the barrier for you. You understand what I say, right?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So that album thing is more or less not for the Sri Lanka society and community. It's more or less for the outside world out there for people to okay, this is something. So actually, now let's leave that question right there. You have any? So you have produced the two songs you have done so far, both are in Sinhala. Yeah, right.
Yes.
Any any sort of plans on making an English one?
So the interesting thing is, I used to solely write English music. I couldn't write in Sinhala. When I was around 16, 17, I released two English songs. It's on Spotify as well. Uh, and I still write English songs. There's a lot like in my laptop and in books and all. Uh, and I do have plans to release those, hopefully. But right now, as of right now, I'm prioritizing the Sri Lankan market because I'm slowly starting to get some momentum there. So once I get to like stable place there, then I'm gonna focus on
That is a good piece of that's a good word that I think a lot of people don't have that mindset. Meaning they start something and when they have the momentum, they are going taking risk in what you're doing is the ultimate reason why a lot of people have succeeded. Yes, sometimes you take a risk and it doesn't work, but think about what would happen if it worked. And I think you taking that the first risk that you took was obviously making yourself public, going out right there. Second thing is making a song, dropping it, regardless of the things that were running in your mind. You were like one day you get up in the morning, you're like, okay, we're gonna make this happen. Then you start planning song, lyrics, or you might have had it already. You're like, okay, who am I going to reach out to? How am I going to do this? I think that is one risk that is a risk that people should take in their life, going behind the dream, going behind that one thing that's lying in their head. And not bother, not think, not go into 5 years or 6 years in time and be like, what if I did it back then and not repent on it? I think you have done a good thing right there. Secondly, I would say is the momentum. I think that's a good shout for you. That's a good shout for a lot of people that's in the music industry as well. When you have momentum with what you are doing, make sure to carry it because it it will always find a way to come. It will always find a way of coming right back to you because one, I don't think you're going to change genres or anything. You're not going to do a normal thing and a song and do a rap song. No, you're not going to do that. No, you're going to have a certain genre. You're going to continue the same style, obviously. But obviously, people are going to want to see a bit of here and there. But I think sticking to the basics, doing what you are good at, and making an authentic name as Minuka is going to be the difference. And I think staying consistent and doing what you do at your best and producing the best thing, not in a hurry, obviously, is one of the best things you can do right now as well.
to add to what you said, staying consistent. That's like a main thing. Is what I've realized. Uh, like it's really important, and I don't think a lot of people realize how important staying consistent is, especially in music. Like if you really look at it, there's people release like a song a year, maybe like a few songs a year, and they just disappear. And it works for like the people who are already established. But if you're new, you can't. I don't. I mean, it could blow up, and you could be successful in an instant. That has happened to people. But I don't think people realize that if you're consistent, like, can happen. Like, it might happen soon.
Consistency pays a lot in dividends, and it really has shown consistency. It doesn't matter what you do. consistency always brings progress, meaning you're always going to improve from what you did before. And that consistency is ultimately going to build a certain image of you, which is better than the first one you already made. Because you're every week, okay, hypothetically, let's say every 2 months you make a new song, you're going to have 6 songs in here. And every time you make a song, you're going to make a difference to the new song that you made from the previous one, which you think is going to be better. You're going to be getting reviews from the previous song. Okay, hypothetically, you make a song today. You wait for a two. You're in the process of you release one today. You're in the process of making another one. In 2 months' time, it's dropping. You get reviews for 2 months. You do the changes. Good. You apply that for the second one and go on. So the people who, in my opinion, who don't have consistency, they're going to forget to make those changes in what they do. Hence, when they come back again, there's a higher chance of them dropping below that first thing they ever did. And that is why I think consistency is very important, and it really pays so much in dividend.
I think there's a thing with this also. Uh, Maybe targeted at social media specifically. Some people, I also struggle with this. People have this mindset that, like, let's say I post cover every week, and something I thought was, oh, people might get annoyed. People might get annoyed of seeing me so much on the feed. But then I read this somewhere, like, people don't care about you as much as you think, which really put me in perspective. Because let's say you see one of my covers, and you see another in a few days, you might even not remember that you saw it, like, recently. So that really put me in perspective. And
That can happen, or else there's another scenario where I could be like, oh my god, I saw his thing before. This is something different, and you still go out to explore what he has made in new. I think
yeah,
you know
I'm saying that you have to break through that, like, fear. Because sometimes you're just in your head, like, you're putting barriers for yourself just in your mind. Like, if you
but
just let go and just give it a try, it just works.
sometimes I hate to say this out, even for me as well. Sometimes you are the person that is holding yourself back, not the society. It's your mind and the way you think. Sometimes that that teeny bit of risk that you make, it really pays off if you manage to produce something great out of it. It doesn't. Now, people say taking risks. Now, taking risks doesn't mean going and gambling on money and this and that and betting and so on. What we are talking about is doing something which actually is going to bring something for you and the society. It brings a good name for you and will put you on that list saying they have actually done something productive while they're doing. I'm not saying that people who don't do that aren't productive and hasn't done anything good with their life, but I'm just saying that sometimes that small difference, that small risk that you take can really go a long way, and it has proven for a lot of different people. And I think it's living proof with a lot of different people right now as well. Okay, so with that being said, I think uh, we have actually come to the end of this first part. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sure this is going to be the last time you're going to see Minuka before popularity, because I think he's obviously, how old are we? You're 19?
Turning 20 next month.
Turning 20 next month. Brilliant. Okay, I'm also 20. I'm turning 21 because I'm late born. Anyways, uh, anyways, okay. What I was saying was that this is going to be potentially the last time you're going to see Minuka before the popularity hits, and I'm really hoping that it does, and this music career of yours blows up in the right direction, and there's there's always going to be a place that you wish that you were, and I hope that you get there, or at least somewhere close to that place, because the songs has all it's giving blueprints to something greater every day. Okay, so one piece of advice to anyone who is doing something new, who is taking a risk, take the risk, believe in yourself, and stop holding yourself back. Because sometimes, if the moment you realize that you're holding a certain, but I'm going to go to that small thing Minuka said before. If he didn't he was afraid of singing. He was playing a guitar. But do you see him playing a guitar in that music video? No. He's not playing a music, he's not playing the guitar, he's actually singing in that. That's the difference in taking a risk, and that's something a lot of people should take, for example, from Minuka. And I think that is the ultimate story from what we have to bring today. But guys, don't worry. Minuka, I would love to have you back one day, maybe physically, maybe when the becoming show is also somewhere up there, fingers crossed on all of that. But anything you have to add before we stop for the first recording?
Just one thing I would want to leave with
Yes,
people, in addition to what you said, always be authentic in whatever you do. Like, you have to create a identity for yourself that people can't find from somewhere else. Like, people need to have a clear idea of who you are, like why you are different, why they should listen to you specifically and not someone else. Whether it be a podcast, a song, a movie, whatever you do, that's something I think we should always strive to do. Yeah.
do your own thing. Do your own thing. Because people who try to copy, everyone can copy things, but it's never as good as the original, in my opinion. Or there is then that is a thought from Minuka about, well, a lot of different things. We've had a wonderful conversation, and I'm going to say it again. Minuka, you're welcome back to the Becoming Show. Anytime you want to have anything that you have to say next time, maybe when a song hits one of those big targets, one of those when it reaches that audience, we are going to bring back Minuka. We are going to have this conversation again, and we are going to look back at this journey. This is the reason why we have the Becoming Show. It's to show that stage of becoming before you have gotten to that certain stature, before you have gotten to that certain place, and that is why I do what I do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Minuka for you. This is after Paata Sedila has happened. You should really go listen to that song if you haven't, because you're missing out on a lot. Minuka, thank you very much for making your time. Stick around. We obviously have another part to do for this. But, ladies and gentlemen, we see you on another one.